Random pseudo-military, armed, unidentified men roaming around the vicinity of the president, apparently answerable to him and his administration, but nobody's really sure. I mean, are you supposed to obey these people if they point guns at you? What if it turns out they are just random citizens? Who are they working for? I mean, this is not a very American look. This is like kind of Libya, right? Like this is weird. This is not how law enforcement is supposed to work around the White House. That said, even as these guys were told to take off their insignia and name badges by someone, nobody will even admit to giving that order. Eventually, you put these guys out in public, then enough people are going to post enough close-up images of them online that people are going to start recognizing something about them eventually. A WTOP reporter named Alejandra Alvarez posted some close-up photos of some of these guys, and specifically some of the T-shirts that they were wearing under their otherwise unmarked gear. After Alvarez posted these photos for WTOP, some reporters in Texas at the Dallas Morning News were able to confirm that, yes, at least some of these guys deployed like Gaddafi's bodyguards, but in the streets around Washington and streets around the White House, they were able to confirm that at least some of them were from 2 federal prisons in Texas. The Federal Correctional Institution at Three Rivers. Three Rivers, Texas is about halfway between San Antonio and Corpus Christi, and another federal prison complex in Beaumont, Texas as well. Apparently, they sent officers to go patrol protests in Washington without insignia, except some of them kept on T-shirts or other little bits of gear that gave away telltale signs of where they work in their day jobs. I mean, ultimately, you can't stay anonymous forever, even if the Attorney General wants you to be for some reason. The Bureau of Prisons sending corrections officers from federal prisons in Texas to walk the streets of Washington carrying guns and answering maybe to the Attorney General while not wearing uniforms or telling anybody who they are, that is unsettling enough. Right? That was not even on my apocalyptic bingo card of where I thought we'd be in this year of the Trump administration. That I did not get. But the Dallas Morning News today notes one other very specific implication of these officers from those specific Texas federal prisons weirdly turning up policing protest in D.C. without their name badges on. And that weirdly specific implication is that, at least at Beaumont, they've had a bunch of corrections officers test positive for coronavirus there. And we've all seen huge outbreaks in American prisons and jails, just like we've seen them in meatpacking facilities and on one particular nuclear-powered aircraft carrier. When it comes to federal prisoners in Texas, they're not exactly testing up a storm. But so far, the Bureau of Prisons has posted information about corrections officers being diagnosed with the virus, and some of them from Beaumont. And Beaumont is one of the prisons from which the BOP apparently secretly drafted officers to be brought all the way across the country to police these protests. And no, almost none of these unbadged random officers were wearing masks while they policed these protests. So thank you, Bureau of Prisons. Thank you, William Barr. Anything else you'd like to deliver to the kind people of D.C.?